Hello my fellow drillers and welcome back to the F1 23 Last to First Championship. Now if you did miss the previous episode, a crazy Canadian Grand Prix, go and check it out right now because there was some spicy drama.
Subscribe now or I will shot you.
Okay, now that you've caught up, welcome to the Austrian Grand Prix. The Styrian Hills are housing something spectacular. Or are they? Well, let's start off by finding out what on earth happened in qualifying. It's qualifying time. It's the Austrian Grand Prix as Alex Albon in the Williams. You thought we were going to make it easy for ourselves. Through the left-hander he goes. He gets on the curb. That's too much curb. Oh no. Alex Albon in the wall. And it's a genuine mistake for the first time in this series. Alex Albon looking to find some extra pace and extra time through the corners. Gets it all crossed up on the curb. Williams in the wars. And as a result, Alex Albon is out of qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. He qualifies last. So he's basically joining his teammate. Oh dear though. Oh. You know what, actually, you genuinely can't write this stuff because I didn't plan on it. Anyway, we won't get bogged down with, whose plan was it? The point is, Max Verstappen's on pole, again, and it's a convincing amount around the track this short. His teammate's in second, but he's 2/10 off. Leclerc gets third, Russell fourth, Sainz fifth, Hamilton down in sixth, Alonso seventh, not too far behind the leading pack. Great job from Gasly in the Alpine and Norris in the McLaren to assert their authority in this qualifying session. Stroll is Stroll, so he's bad. Down the rest of the grid though, it's Ocon just outside the top 10, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Bottas not too far. I mean, it's such oh my god, it really is such fine margins. Look how close the gaps are. We're lost. Yeah, and you saw why, really. It was actually a genuine mistake. I pushed too hard, tried to find too much time on the curb. It wasn't the place where I planned to crash, believe it or not. But anyway, regardless of that, it's resulted in only one thing. We're screwed. So Saturday was shambolic, and that's really all there is to say. However, as we go into race day, look at this. It's raining. It's intermediate conditions. We haven't touched the wet weather so far this game, but let's see what we can do. 5 red lights, go out, and it's time for the Austrian Grand Prix. A wet and wild rendezvous has begun, and let's see what we can do as we don't get a great start, but we're going to launch it down the inside immediately. Get a whole host of positions past Guan Yu Zhou in the Alfa Romeo, apparently not, but we're going to get the great exit, and we're up to P16 already, chasing down the KarlsCars of Hülkenberg and Magnussen. No damage on the car, I'm pretty sure. As up the inside we go again. A bunch of cars displaced. Tsunoda being the latest victim of our assault. That sounds really bad, but Bottas is next, and the traction we get is simply superb. My goodness me, but he's actually got a second win there, deploying his battery, making the eco-mentalists very unhappy. Luckily for us, we have the inside line, and we will squeeze him out, and that will be P12 so far this race. Weather so far, I can reveal, it's raining for another 5 minutes apparently, and then we have to focus on thinking about when the dries will be the best tyre. So that you thought they'd make it simple for us. Trust me, they wouldn't. Oh no! Bottas is right there. We've made a complete hash of that corner, going insanely wide. And now we have to deploy some more energy. But luckily, again, the inside line is ours for the taking. We've bought the corner, and we will keep P12 for now. And let's relax a little bit. Perez is currently leading the Austrian Grand Prix, actually. He jumped his teammate. Not only that, so did a Ferrari. Verstappen fighting hard at the front there to try and reclaim only second place as we go wider than your mum into the first corner. Not ideal, as Bottas again has a great run, but being Williams, you know we have some great straight line speed. We are a cruise missile, and here's Plankton. That's right, Bottas. Get shafted down the food chain. We have bigger fish to fry. And that bigger fish is Esteban Ocon. The gap's still within a second currently, so it's not a completely cataclysmic affair. However, through turn 1, look at that slide. That is sumptuous. It's absolutely gorgeous, that one. And we make it look so effortless, but actually I was panicking behind the steering wheel, not gonna lie. Norris and Ocon fighting. Hello, sunshine. This could be another chance for a simply superb switchback. And look at this. The traction we get is brilliant. And Norris is taken out of P11. Fringes of the points, and we are looking for more to the outside of Esteban Ocon. Let's see if we can outbrake him. We do outbrake him. He still has the inside. We get a slide on. Hopefully on the exit we'll be able to get it done. And luckily as we deploy some battery, it is done. on the Alpine man. P10 to our name. Already 10 positions gained in just 3 laps of a wet and wild affair. And Alex Albon is having a big smile on his face. And Squeaky's returned. Jesus. A lot has happened in these first 3 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. And I must say, the wet weather actually felt coherent with the new handling model. I could feel, even when I understeer horrifically wide like that, I could still feel that corner. And I must say at this juncture, it's incredible really. I know I did it in my F1 23 impressions, but I'm going to say it again here. It's amazing how Codemasters have changed Austria. And yet haven't changed Austria at all. Do you know how much talent that takes a studio to do something and yet not do something? I mean, credit where credit's due. I mean, that's... What do you even say? Bad job. Death. Anyway, Stroll actually gets a great run on his teammate, and we were going to make it 3 wide, but we actually think better of it, because look at the Tesco car park at turn number 3. Meanwhile, we get a fantastic exit as Stroll gets it all kinds of crossed up. We dispatch of the Canadian man, and now El Padre is ours for the taking. We're going to gobble him up, snap up the opportunity to the outside of the Aston Martin. We did it on an Alpine. Can we do it on an Aston Martin? Oh, yes, we do. Unbelievable stuff. Up into P8 now. Gasly's our next target, and he may prove a trickier customer because his pace was actually pretty good. But once again, look at my straight line speed. And hello, Pierre Gasly. We are reeling him in like the next best catch to the outside once again. We brake as late as we dare, but Gasly actually outbrakes us. He defends very well indeed, and the inside line is bought by him in this case. However, fine. The outside line didn't work. We're going to remortgage your inside line through turn 3, which they say they've changed, but haven't changed at all, actually. We're going to now use the slipstream of Gasly. We're going to deploy the battery. That's not a word. We're going to use our ERS. We're going to use the slipstream and send one right now down the inside of Pierre Gasly. We get the move done on the exit, just like that. We're up into P7 now. Best of the rest. Only the Mercedes, the Ferraris, and the Red Bulls stand between us and a win, which is impossible because we're in a crap car. But, you know, it's the thought that counts. I am the optimism overlord, as my friends call me. They don't call me that. But you know what? We actually have something very difficult to consider. Good God! We're in the pit lane. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, lap number 7 at the end of the lap, actually, the DRS was enabled, and when the DRS is enabled, trust me, you want to switch straight onto the slick tyres. One of the Ferraris has actually gone past. Both Ferraris have gone past, in fact. So has George Russell and a bunch of others who decide the slick tyres aren't the correct option. We head straight onto the mediums and just come out behind Lewis Hamilton. I completely ignore the fact we get an optimal turn-in, but it's a regular occurrence at this point. You should know the script by now. Out on the exit here, the tyres immediately fire up. The grip is there. Despite the track looking like it's, well, part of the Arctic Circle, we actually have some good grip. And into the braking zone here, this will be the litmus test of actually how much grip we do have. And it's about 70% of the way there. It's not quite there yet. The traction isn't good enough. And really through the corners, we're still lacking a little bit of grip. Whereas the AI don't know physics and therefore don't care. So that's annoying. But anyway, we're keeping up with Hamilton okay as we skate through that turn, completely derailing my point. We're going to head to the end of the lap. And while we currently sit in P15, that's going to we're going to be promoted quite a lot, basically. As you can see, across the line we go. We are back in our P7. Hopefully a bit higher as we go horrendously wide into that corner. Still no grip at all. The brakes are freezing still. Haven't been put through this much torture yet. But look at this in greater news. A Ferrari and an Aston Martin have still stayed out on intermediates. I mean, what are you doing, Ferrari, you pillar? Red Bull, uncharacteristically, have had bad strategy calls the past couple of races. Today, though, it's business as usual. Balance in the universe is restored. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap, but look at Perez go. My God, he's put the burners on. Meanwhile, we come out ahead of Stroll and Carlos Sainz, and we're now into P5. Double figures worth of points, DRS open on Lewis Hamilton. And there is a big chance here, if we've kept up during this first stint, we pitted on the same lap as him, there is a great chance we actually outdo the Mercedes man on pace. This Williams is so slippery in a straight line. We have every right to claim P4 in this race. Do we think about a move? No. No, we don't. We bide our time, basically. You'll see very soon, though, we're going to get this guy, and we are going to mince him. Not even a third of a lap later, and we are firmly sat in the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton. He's in our crosshairs, and we are going to elite sniper this man out of 4th place. Not shoot him, because that's illegal, but we're going to take him out of his 4th place, and we are going to send the crowd into raptures. DRS on Lewis Hamilton. To the outside we go, and that is as easy of an overtake as you're ever going to get. It's how Williams have done things all year in real life. Straight line and nothing else. It's like the Enzo Ferrari tactic in the 60s or whatever. But you know what? It works. It works so well. Hamilton might have DRS now, but our straight line speed is great, and our pace through the corners is not too bad either, as we set a best first sector of the race. We carry on through the lap, cascading down through the track. The Austrian Grand Prix track is beautiful, by the way. It's a shame Codemasters still can't do it right. Anyway, through this corner, using all of the runoff and some more, as we flick the car in, hope the front end sticks. It semi-sticks. It's okay. The Williams hasn't got the greatest aerodynamic proficiency on it, but with 2 purple sectors, my throat's dying. My throat is saved. Perez sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as we cascade through the last turn, though. Keep it within the track limits. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the fastest lap of the race. We don't have the fastest lap of the race. No matter, it was a small victory. We now just need to see if we keep ahead of Hamilton. But as you can see, we failed really badly in our mission to try and keep him behind. So, actually, we're going to use our massive galaxy brain again. We're going to let Hamilton through because we've proved to ourselves we are quick in the DRS. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep slipstreaming Hamilton, therefore defending from Sainz behind and making sure we make the most of our pace in this race. And that means big points on the table. So while we do have a potential opportunity to sneak past Hamilton, we don't take it. We let him go ahead because this straight line speed, which as well, the Mercedes is one of the draggiest cars in the game, basically. As we get a massive slide on into that left-hander, luckily catching the car there's more of a sympathy slide than anything else. We still remain within half a second, were within half a second, of Lewis Hamilton. But, you know, this is the plan now, like I said. DRS all the way to the end. Hamilton will pull us along, and without a care in the world, yellow flag. What's going on? Who's slow? No! No! No way! Not Lewis Hamilton! Not a slipstream mule! The man who's had, well, not the best of luck at all this season. He's not even got a podium to his name this season, which is just criminal. But even more criminal is he's out of the Austrian Grand Prix. Mercedes have their heads slamming the desk. It's an absolutely unbelievable scenario. 2 retirements in 2 races for the team. It leaves one car alone out there and puts their reliability firmly into scrutiny now. But we've got no time to sympathise for the 7-time, 8-time, whatever, world champion. We've got a Ferrari to defend from. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen. At the end of the lap, we passed the street. Jesus Christ! Carlos Sainz, go away, fella. He's absolutely hauled us in this lap. And he's going to get straight past us before turn 1. I don't believe it, but we've let him past. We've used our cunning. We've got 2 A's in our name, so that means we understand the assignment. Round Carlos Sainz we go. The 2 ahead are fighting. Oh my gosh, what we need now is Sainz not to fight us into this corner. He's fighting us. Carlos Sainz is fighting. Why do I bother? Realistically, we're fighting a losing battle here as we try and defend the inside line from Sainz. His DRS overspeed is absolutely ridiculous. But we'll try and keep up with him. We will do our best. We will not give this up anytime soon. We might have to give it up. That was a huge slide, a great save. Thank God for the new handling model. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? We actually are still within a second of Sainz at the end of this lap, but the Ferrari is convincingly faster than the Mercedes round this track when it's completely dried out. We do use DRS to good effect. We're going to lunch up that slipstream. As ahead, Verstappen is actually going for a move on Leclerc. And as you can see, it's not even going to be close, or is it? Leclerc's fighting back. Fantastic from the man on the mediums. The hard's clearly functioning better now as the crossover begins to happen. But Leclerc ahead of Verstappen. We're still in DRS of Sainz though. And if he keeps hauling us along, there is a small chance we get a podium in this race. No. Do you know what? Just forget it. Forget it. We're not getting a podium today. And you know what? Realistically, that's fine. We're in a Williams. We were never going to get anywhere near sniffing the champagne or whatever they drink. Coke Zero. I don't know what they drink. The point is, we are nowhere near. And someone who's nowhere near second place is Charles Leclerc. Verstappen has completely overpowered him here on lap 16. The crossover has well and truly happened. And the hards have overpowered the mediums, which are crying for resuscitation. It's bad news for the championship in a way, but it's great news for Sergio Perez today, who will win this race, I can reveal, by a complete country mile. it will be a great boost for his confidence as well, because up to this point, he's had torrid luck. It's like, what, 3 DNFs so far this season? He's had a shocker, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. But for us, we cannot be discouraged by this performance. Let's be honest, we were in a Williams. We were never going to get a podium. And you know what? That's okay. We massively punched above our weight here in Austria as Perez wins the Grand Prix convincingly. Great drive from him. But for us, from last on the grid, the first time dabbling in wet conditions, we played it to perfection. Alex Albon claims 5th place at the Austrian Grand Prix. A great result for the Williams team, which will surely boost their morale in future races. A fantastic drive from the Thai driver. He can hold his head high, driver of the day, and rightly so. Unbelievable performance. Whew!
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. It's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Oh, look who's won again. No prizes for guessing who's on the top step. Well, it's a Red Bull, but it's not the one you might have thought. Do you know what? At least he celebrated more than in Bahrain, because he genuinely did nothing there. But well done to Perez. This will be a massive confidence boost for the Mexican, who's had a torrid time in recent races gone. But the 2nd place in Canada and now the win in Austria is exactly the confidence boost he'll need. Great race from Verstappen and Leclerc as they drink sweet nothing. What a race from us. My God, it had it all. Wet weather, great overtakes, the perfect crossover pit stop, and using the dry weather to really boost our result. Well done to us. That sounds pretty arrogant, doesn't it? Do you know what? We can G ourselves up, though, in this case, because genuinely, the wet weather, that's the first time I've driven in the wet weather on this game, just ever. Genuinely. I haven't touched the wet weather at all until this race. So, to be on the pace immediately and to feel like I could actually feel the car and drive the car was a blessing. I'm so grateful that they actually updated the handling model, because it makes every other aspect of this F1 game just even more fun, even if they haven't changed anything. I see you, Codemasters. Anyway, looking down the grid and the results. Who excelled today? Alonso did well, actually very well. Pain for Lewis Hamilton, who really deserved the 4th place at the least. Norris missing out on points in the end. Tsunoda just missing out heartbreakingly. But it's Pierre Gasly who gets a great result. Stroll on the fringes again because he's bad. And Valtteri Bottas claims a solitary point again. Just keeping Alfa Romeo in the hunt in this season. So that concludes really all there is to say about the Austrian Grand Prix. George Russell did well in the end to actually get past Gasly as well, I almost forgot to mention. But soon will come his home race, so let's see what he can do at the British Grand Prix. But before we end off, let's have one final look at the Drivers' Championship standings. Max Verstappen, Cockwomble, leads the championship by almost 60 points over his closest rival, Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz not too far behind him. The hunt is still well and truly on for Ferrari. George Russell, after a bad score again, is in 4th, losing touch with the Ferraris. Perez moves up into the hundreds with 105 points after his 2nd win of the season. Alonso only 1 point behind Hamilton. Gasly firmly in 8th in the championship. And otherwise, there are still only 3 drivers that are yet to score points. In the constructors' standings, Alex Albon's 5th place has helped Williams, but it's still only 9th place for the British constructor. His 13th place in the driver's standings, though, is something they can celebrate for a little bit. Red Bull lead and the gap is 33 points, same as Max Verstappen's old driver number, so maybe that's a sign. You never know. Ferrari are not far behind though, and Mercedes still in the 200s worth of points. Aston Martin firmly in 4th, Alpine holding down 5th place. The gap isn't that big though, and who knows what surprises Silverstone will have in store. Will it be a big occasion? Will there be any miracles that happen? Well, you'll just have to wait and find out. Thank you very much for watching round number 10 of the Last to First Championship, almost halfway through this incredible season. If you did enjoy this race, leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. I can confirm 6,408% of you are not subscribed, which makes me very cross. But if you subscribe, I'll be a much happier bunny. Also, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single round of this championship or any other videos besides. Will there be any brilliance in Britain? Oh, maybe. But that's for you to find out. Until that race, though, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'll see you soon.